Well, hello, Knights fans. Welcome to a New Year's Eve bash between the Charlottetown Bulk Carriers Knights and the Kensington Wild. These teams have played each other in the last two competitions. The season series going 2-2 right now currently. So we're all square going into this New Year's Eve battle. Luke Much and Regan McCauley are on the call for you this afternoon. As you can see, we just gave away a brand new Volkswagen Jetta to a lucky Knights fan, as well as a golf package and some cash. So we will let Canada get going, and we'll let the ice clear, and we'll see you on the other side. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we said, the pregame festivities are all wrapped up and we're ready for puck drop. We're short-staffed. Charlottetown Bulk Carriers Knights look to face off against the Kensington Wild. The team president, Gordy, back out to deliver the new car to a lucky Knights fan as people are filing in here. Into the Bell Alliance Center in downtown Charlottetown on the campus of the University of Hudson Bradley gets the start for the Bulk Carriers Knights. He's 7-5 with a .217 goals against average, a .927 save percentage, and 1 shutout at the other end. George Gallant, 6-4 with a .313 goals against average, a .921 save percentage, and 1 shutout for him as well. These teams played. Kiefer Thompson initially had the start in that game, but after giving up 2 goals early on, he went down with an injury, and Huddy had to fill the cage for the remaining 55 minutes of that contest. As we mentioned, the Knights are short-staffed and lots of rumors and news going around the team. Ross Campbell made his 3rd appearance with the Charlottetown Islanders last evening, and he's going to stay there for the rest of the year. So Ross is done in a Knights sweater. We wish him all the best with the Charlottetown Islanders. As one Knight goes up, a former Knight announces his retirement, and Jacob Squires, he'll step away from the game, at least at the QMJHL level, as he announced his retirement. Today's game against the Acadia Bathurst Titan will be his last in a Charlottetown Islanders uniform. So as the Zamboni wraps up here and is getting ready to head off the ice, just fixing all the tire marks from that brand new Volkswagen Jetta, these two teams are going to have a lengthy test ahead of them. 60 miles left to go here. Wild are going to be sending out their top line, centered by Ethan Dixon, the leading points getter for the Wild. He's 9-16 and 25, Regan. You got to watch out for him.
Well, yes, for sure. It's the annual New Year's Eve game here between the Knights and the Wild, of course. The crowd in these ones, always an excellent show up with everyone here. I mean, yeah, you were saying the series between these two teams tied 2-2. I mean, yeah, on paper you'd think the Knights would be all over them, but the Wild have proven that hard work can beat talent from time to time. I mean, we saw the Wild get a shootout victory, and then over in Kensington they were able to get the job done 6-4. So again, it's going to be a tough one, especially not having guys like Campbell and Nicholson and such.
Yeah, well, every single meeting this year between the two Island teams have been a close one. And that's a big difference from last year, Regan. The Knights winning every single one of the meetings last year, and for the last number of years, that is, sweeping the Wild in the playoff series to advance to the Atlantics, where they eventually lost just by 1 game and didn't make it to the crossovers. Wild game last time that those two teams met in K-Town. Carson Griffin and Evan Nicholson are both out with AC joint shoulder injuries. Kiefer Thompson is out with a hip flexor sprain, so the Knights are shorthanded for sure. Nathan Campbell will draw into the Knights lineup. He'll play with the number 20 as he was used to last year. Cale Coffin will use the number 7 jersey. Zach Clinton, the Eastern Express goaltender, will use number 33. Mason Power will use number 16 for the Bulk Carriers Knights. And Drew McDonald will round off the call-ups wearing number 15 this afternoon for the white and gold hometown Charlottetown Bulk Carriers Knights on a New Year's Eve Saturday afternoon puck drop. A packed house here, a great crowd on hand as usual when the two Island teams meet, filled in the lower bowl and the upper bowl here on the campus of the University of Prince Edward Island. Luke Much alongside Regan McCauley. Feel like we've been going on and on here as we're just waiting for puck drop. Not sure what the holdup is now. Official Brandon Barrett with the puck at the center ice logo, getting ready for Canada Games here coming to PEI in February of 2023, something that the Island has been looking forward to, but right now the Island's looking forward to this. Here we go, Knights and Wild, puck drop now and we're underway. Knights come in with it, that one goes off the blade of Sharkey and into the corner where Will Murphy will touch up with it. Will ranked really high by the QMJHL Central Scouting Department, ranked to go around the 20th overall mark in the QMJHL draft. That'd be the highest that somebody from the island has gone in years. That was Finn Morris who takes a hit, and he'll fall down. Dawson Sharkey gets it. He'll throw one on net. George Gallant will steer it wide. Now Sharkey will lose that one, but the Wild come back with it. Ryder Howitt's trying to cut in between the defensemen, as is Carson McDougall. That one will get dumped into the zone. Finn Morris is there. He'll lay one up to Dawson Sharkey, and he'll head for a change as his helmet strap was loose. Thatcher Hughes in there. Thatcher's been stepping up great, as is Caden McGuigan, probably the two standout nights for me with the absences of those 5 players that we mentioned at the top of the program. Ryder Howitt with it. He'll cross that one over. Looks for a long stretch pass. Will Murphy will intercept that, or Nathan Mossy rather. Justin Smith will lay it up. That one gets tipped in by Carson McDougall and all the way back to Justin Smith, who played with the Wild last season. Intercepted briefly by Isaac Arsenault, then Brennan Murphy will take it. Been impressed with him. Murphy to Mossy. Looks for Murphy again. That puck was behind him, and Eddie Doyle will get to it first. Now that one goes to Matt McDonald rather. He'll try to move it out. Doesn't get any success doing that. A quick shot there, but it didn't go on target. Pierce at the point. He'll throw one down. Connor Pierce will rim it, looking for the stick of the call-up for the Knights this afternoon. Mason Power, one of many call-ups for the Knights. That one gets dumped in on Hudson Bradley. Regan, if we're looking for someone to have a big game this afternoon, it's Hudson Bradley.
Oh yeah, that's for sure too. The rookie's been having a very solid year so far. Only 7 and 5, 2.17 goals against average, .927 save percentage. I mean, yeah, the wins and losses are a bit close with him, but I mean, it's not always statistics. He's always been very good in the crease as the rookie, so very athletic and just loves being here too. And whenever Kiefer's not in net, he's a great guy to look forward to. At the same time, though, against this Wild team that's been known to work hard every time they play against the Knights, trying to prove that it's not always about who's better on paper.
Here comes the Knights. Quick pass there, but couldn't find Carson McKenzie. Turning a fire was Connor Pierce, but that one didn't get on goal. Pierce blows it tired, does a good job to recover and keep it in the zone. That one's floated in towards Carson McKenzie. Regan, you were talking about Hudson Bradley's record. He's 7 and 5, but can't blame him for some of those losses. Hudson went on a 3-game losing streak when Kiefer Thompson was called up to the Moncton Wildcats. The team wasn't playing too well as the shot comes in. Rebound, good save by Bradley on Ethan Dixon. Pierce with it now. Looks to go glassing out. He'll buy some time for his team. Will Murphy will go back to it. That one goes on goal, so the icing call is evaded. Will Murphy looks for Ethan Dixon. Moves it up to number 16 for the Wild and AP for the red and green tonight too. That one gets chipped along. Stopped though. Evading the too many men call is the Wild. Jack Dwyer's on the ice, chasing down Finn Morris with Isaac Arsenault. That's rimmed around now. Cale Coffin tried to chip that one, but instead the Wild were able to get a shot off. Nathan Campbell's on the ice. He makes his presence felt as he takes a run at one of the Wild defensemen. And here's a break for Brennan Murphy. A one-on-one. He tries to go around. Shovel one in off the side of the net. Murphy just missed wide. Up top, Nathan Campbell has it. Rims it around to Cale Coffin. From the Taco Boys program, the U18 AAA in Pownell. Cale Coffin, an 06 born forward. He's number 7 this afternoon in his second AP performance with the Knights. Jonah McDonald in front, can't find a skater there, and Dawson Sharkey will be back to pick it up in aid of Justin Smith. He'll cross the blue line. Dawson Sharkey against his former club. Wraps one in front, but it was all Wild, and Carson McDougall swings it to the side.
Bunch of passes here from
Jonah
the Knights
McDonald.
players.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, a bunch of passes from the Knights players here trying to make some plays, but no one's really there to be able to finish it off. They probably should improve here on their vision a little bit here. Good opportunity for the Wild.
Here they come, the Kensington Wild. 5th in the NBPEI standings with a 7-10, 2-1 record. Up against the first place Knights with a 17-4, 1-1 record. But 2 of those losses coming at the hands of the Kensington Wild. Nathan Mossy, Charlottetown Islanders prospect, will rim that one up. It gets turned over, and Justin Smith is the first one to it in the corner. He gets tied up by Arsenault. Jordan Shaw's there, as is Thatcher Hughes, and eventually the Knights number 12 will win it for the white and gold. Here comes Sharkey. Good job to stay on side. No, I thought he did, but The linesman says he didn't. Jonah McDonald creeps offside, and we'll have a face-off with 15:07 left to go in the first frame, Regan. It's been a good start.
Yeah. A good effort there to try and keep the skate right on the blue line, but that Wild defenseman was not going to let him have it there whatsoever. And yeah, we're 5 minutes into this first period. Still 0-0. It's just starting to get back and forth. It was all the Knights all over the Wild, but now the Wild are starting to get back in terms of physicality and defensive as well. Knights should try and be able to finish off their plays a little bit better here, as I said earlier, in terms of vision and such.
Well, Knights look to get going again here as Owen McPherson will move one in. Eventually that one gets thrown in onto George Gallant, and Brennan Murphy will try to hunt that one down. He has it now. The captain for the Knights, an 05 forward, got an invite to the Bathurst T10 camp last year as he looks to continue his success. Went undrafted, spent the first year at the Wild, then ever since has come over to the Knights and really grown into that leadership role that head coach Luke Beck has obviously felt very confident in giving to him. Owen McPherson will now lay one over to Ryan Dwyer. Brother Jack is on the Wild. Ryan, 2 years younger than Jack, looking to get drafted this year into the QMJHL. Carson McKenzie, another 07 forward, will take a hit behind the play. Finn Morris rims it around. His neck guard falls off, but he doesn't know what it is. He has to get off the ice before an official catches him.
That was a double takeover right there along the blue line. And another big hit there too.
Well, bodies are being thrown around. Carson
Another
McKenzie didn't like the hit that he got, and he lays one down on the Wild. That was Seamus McEachran. Really impressive stats from him this year. He's wearing the A, 5 goals, 10 assists for 15 points. He's leading his team in points, Regan, for defensemen.
Oh yeah, I mean, for his size too at 5'11", it's not always about size too. McEachran's got all the skill and everything, and he should definitely put in a fight if he decides to go to the Islanders camp in 2023.
Jack Rowell lays one off. Long flip shot by Clark Allen gets mixed up in a sea of bodies before it eventually pops out towards the blue line where Caden McGuigan will take it and run. He'll give it to Carson McKenzie. Back to McGuigan. McGuigan had a night against the Wild last time. Looks to continue it. Shot over Gallant. Wouldn't go. Rebound gets cleared by the Wild. McGuigan's in a foot race for it with Clark Allen. Allen will wheel right by him. Eventually the Knights and Justin Smith will poke it out of their end. The forwards will change and the Wild will regroup. That was a scary chance there by Caden McGuigan, who had 2 goals against the Wild last time, Regan.
And I swear too, the QMJHL just came out with a video talking about him. It was an interview with him and such, and showing off what his skills are like, and why he's a prospect for the upcoming Q draft. And ever since I saw that video, I've been always seeing McGuigan on the score sheet, so it's no wonder that he's been doing very solid as of recently now with all that confidence coming in, especially with him being discussed by scouts and the Q there as well.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a confidence booster for Caden McGuigan. Before his last 2 games, he only had 3 goals, 3 assists, and 6 points. Now 5 goals and 4 assists. So that's what you like to see, Regan. Those 07 forwards really taking a leap and getting prepared for their QMJHL careers, which I'm sure Caden will have one day.
Well, yes, he's stepping up for sure, and even for that young too. It's very impressive to see here so far.
Wild have it. They'll cross the blue, now the red. Cregan Tompkins. Cregan does a great job of getting under the Knights' skin every time that he plays them, always drawing multiple penalties. Really great at getting away with stuff that the referees don't see. Dawson Sharkey with it, crosses the blue line. He'll look into the open ice. He gets it back. He'll try to throw it back to Hughes. Rebound, scores! Thatcher Hughes is Johnny on the spot off of a broken play, and he'll bury the rebound. It's 1-0 Knights.
That's right there. A bit of a failed pass right there. Looked like it would have been a good play if he was able to get it across there, but no, Thatcher Hughes is still able to get on the puck. Still managed to get loose there despite the pass not working out from Dawson Sharkey. But regardless, still got a goal. A lucky one for the Knights. It's 1-0, almost halfway through this first period.
Well, we talked about it in the open for a brief second. Thatcher Hughes is one of the guys that I've really admired his play. As another try, that pass just goes off the tape of Owen McPherson, but Thatcher Hughes is a guy that the Knights have really liked ever since the injuries to Evan Nicholson and Carson Griffin. He's had 2 big goals for the Knights, both against the Wild, as a matter of fact, and he starts this game off on the right path for the white and gold. Jack McKinnon will lay that one up, but It's eventually turned over. Jack coming back to the Wild from the Mount Academy. He'll try to stick check Murphy, but Murphy is able to get the stick down in time, and George Gallant will have to rim it around. Nathan Mossy with a long shot. That one's absorbed by Luke Inman. Rebound, however, goes to the Knights. Inman now behind the net with it. Wild are really looking to break it out here. Can't manage to muster up a chance. Now here come the Knights. Jonah McDonald has it, looks to cross ice pass, a batting try by Nathan Campbell. How about that for your first shot on net in a Knights uniform in how many games? And Nathan Campbell just about makes it 2-0 Knights on a beauty of a play. Batted that one out of midair, Regan.
Yes, and might want to try and avoid jamming at the net right there. I mean, these Wild players, I mean, with how aggressive they've been, the hits that they've been able to put against the Knights players here so far. Yeah.
Wild are able to chip it out of the zone. Nathan Mossy will eventually put a halt to that play, and he'll try to lay it off for Cale Coffin. Jack Dwyer blows the wheel whenever the Wild try to get it out, and the Knights will prevail. Only momentarily, though, Seamus McEachran will cross the line. Knights are trying to move it up, and here comes Cale Coffin. Long shot in and out of the glove of Gallant. That was a scary shot, not something that you want to see from your starting goaltender, Regan, but Gallant makes the save anyways, and we'll have another whistle.
Yeah, it was quite the bounce right there off the shot. That would have definitely been a second unlucky goal there on for the Knights right there. So halfway through the first period, 1-0.
Knights are going on the draw again. Long shot in. Wild are able to get a stick to it. Clark Allen is on the feed, and Connor Pierce will have to trap it down. Clark Allen will try to bat it through the zone again. Only gets to the AP. One of many this afternoon, Drew McDonald. He'll try to move it to Pierce. Pierce gets in trouble, but offside is the call as Eddie Doyle jumped the gun, and shots are now 9-4 in favor of the Knights, Regan, as they're putting lots of rubber on net early on.
Think with how rough these players can be against each other for Knights and Wild games so far halfway through the period. Still, no one's headed to the penalty box yet. Is that surprising to you?
No. I mean, these boys can play clean for as long as they want, but as soon as one person crosses that fine line, it seems like the floodgates just open up. In Kensington, it was early last time. Oh, it's Finn Morris just about puts a puck in his own net. Tried to bat it away, and it just hit off the top of the cage. Finn Morris is a guy who's been really great at distributing the puck this year, Regan. He has 11 assists but 0 goals. So if you want somebody on the QB for your power play, Finn's the guy.
I guess for sure. He's been a very good player there, both aggressively and also trying to chip in as a quarterback there on the power play. So good stuff from him so far. Still no goals yet from him, but again, that's not really what he's all about. It's about being aggressive and trying to create plays and be right there on the power play and the penalty kill as well. Good special teams player. Yeah,
Finn's a guy that you weren't really sure what you were going to get with him this year.
Oh, yeah.
He played some of the year last year in Florida, and then the Knights, and then Central Attack. He was an absolute horse for them in the playoffs and really helped them get to that finals position that they did.
Just basically an all over the place kind of defenseman, like you're saying, where he goes all over the place in terms of the world. So now finally trying to find his spot here on the Knights, and so far it's definitely working out.
Justin Smith will get it. Long shot. That one hits the blade of McGuigan. Shot right into the chest of George Gallant, and he'll cover up once more. He's definitely been the busier of the two goalies so far this afternoon. As we mentioned, Gallant, he faces off against the Wild, or against the Knights rather, quite a lot. His backup, Rylan Aiken, this afternoon. It'll be his first year in the league. He's an 06 born goalie. Played last year at the Mount Academy after he was there for quite a while, but now he is with the Wild as he tries to advance his playing and really try to carve out a spot for him on the Charlottetown Islanders group, Regan, where, as we know, they're hungry for goalies right now. They tried out Jack Flanagan, and he wasn't he didn't quite adapt the way that the Islanders coaching staff might have thought. They were so desperate for a goalie whenever Frankie LaPena went down. It was none other than Nico Boudreau with the Contendo Northern Moose who went up with them for 3 games, and he got the start in all 3 over Jack Flanagan, and that was pretty much the writing on the wall there, as you knew that Flanagan was done in an Islanders jersey, and he's now in Junior A, as the Islanders have 2 new goalies.
Ironically, there had to be that one start where Boudreau got it, and then he had to literally be pulled for Flanagan, and then I believe, as Corey Arsenault said, Jack Flanagan literally had his best start whenever he had to go in for Boudreau. So just overall a bit of definitely an awkward situation for the Islanders, but I mean, now they have guys like Ty Austin, Dixon Grimes, so at least they'll have some experience in the crease for the second half to keep scores a little bit more stable.
Yeah, Corey Arsenault, George Matthews been doing fantastic work with the Islanders for many years now. Always a pleasure to listen to them on the broadcast as the Knights enter the zone. We'll cycle it down low. Owen McPherson is there. That one gets batted out to Jonah McDonald, who will roof one over the cage. And now the Knights are going to get to work again trying to keep it in. Owen McPherson will bat it off the glass, and it'll stay in the zone. Only momentarily, though. Now Finn Morris will come back for it at the blue line. He'll make a cross-ice pass to his D partner, and now here comes the Knights. It's Andy Thompson crossing the goal line now as he's pinching up top. Carson McKenzie will cover for him before they eventually switch back to their natural positions. Wild and Knights are battling for it again. Carson McKenzie isn't able to get to it in time. Finn Morris will come down with it. Off the boards, and here they come. It's Ryan Dwyer with Carson McKenzie and Caden McGuigan. Shot in, rebound goes wide. It's in the crease. George Gallant's on it. And Wild clear it. Nathan Mossy will keep it in, turning a fire, but that one whistled well wide of the target, which was the goal. That one goes up in the air and all the way back into the Wild bench. And we're going to have a stoppage of play and a face-off back inside of the Wild zone.
Good defense there right against Ryan Dwyer. He had the speed going in along the wing, but just couldn't really finish off right there. Although the puck, again, kind of like the Dawson Sharkey play where Thatcher Hughes was able to score there. The puck just takes a bunch of bounces and such, and we even saw that along the boards too as the 2 teams were just fighting back and forth. So, I mean, yeah, only 1 goal so far. It's still back and forth. It's kind of like what you mentioned with Finn Morris. It's just been an all-over-the-place game.
Long shot there, doesn't go. That one was whistled wide by Justin Smith. Justin's a guy that you'd like to see shoot the puck a little bit more. He has a really hard shot, but he's more of a pass-first guy. But, I mean, if you get more pucks on net, then maybe you could get some chances, get some tip goals going, or maybe even just rip one right by the goalie. Andy Thompson, Nathan Mossy are 2 perfect examples of that. 2 goals, both from the blue line this year for number 8 and 4 on the Knights. Now McDonald with it. Looks cross-ice, but Arsenault going for a line change. So, speak of the devil, it is Justin Smith. Now Nathan Mossy off the boards. He finds Dawson Sharkey. He'll tip it down. Jonah McDonald will be the first one into it. He'll just let George Gallant play that one, and now the Wild will come back on the Knights. Clark Gallant tries to chip it through. Good job by Cale Coffin, who absorbs a hit and takes his tumble to the ice from Matt McDonald. Long tip shot in, and Hudson Bradley will just let that one fall down. Drew McDonald will touch up. Ethan Dixon has it now. 3 Knights are on him, and Nathan Campbell comes out with it. Nathan played last year with the Knights, but elected to go back to Taco Boys this year to get more playing time as he looks to advance his career as well. McGuigan will walk in, shoot. That one rolls off his blade. Nathan Campbell behind the net for it. Campbell still rims it around down low. Now Cale Coffin. Coffin gets hit once more, and now the Wild Ethan Dixon will come out with it. He'll regroup behind his own net. He didn't like what he saw, and now he'll go. Looks for a long stretch pass, doesn't hit a stick down the ice. Icing is the call with 4:45 left to go in the first period. Regan, the Knights are shorthanded here, but they're definitely putting the smoke to the Wild.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. We're seeing a lot of open ice hits between these 2 teams, particularly from the Wild so far. It seems like there's a lot of the Knights AP players are kind of getting it handed to them so far in this first period. So
Knights with another ozone draw. Wild are kicked out, and in comes Cregan Tompkins. The linesman didn't like the way that Ethan Dixon was lining up. Cregan steps in and wins it for the red and green this afternoon. Hudson will move it up only as far as Brennan Murphy, who comes back and intercepts. That one is tipped into the zone by Mason Power, eventually thrown back up. Finn Morris misses it. Andy Thompson will have to come back. He has Owen McPherson and Finn Morris with him. He'll give it to Finn. Morris up to Murphy, a beauty of a pass. Here comes Murphy. Shot and a good save by Gallant. He didn't know where it went, but it went into the corner. What a pass by Finn Morris, Regan. Now the Knights are going to keep going. Here's McPherson. He'll rim one around down low. Mason Power blows a wheel, and he'll be pressured by Will Murphy. The big frame of Will Murphy. He's definitely not the shortest guy on the ice, standing at 6'3" as an 07 born player. Morris again, long shot. That one gets blocked by the Wild again. Now Colby Hudson with it. The assistant captain for the Wild. He'll dump that one in, but it was behind the red line. Icing is the call, and that was a great chance for Brendan Murphy on a great feed from Finn Morris, Regan.
Yeah, great. Finally getting some great vision here on that one particular play. There is Morris with a perfect pass right up to Brendan Murphy. But again, George Gallant comes out on top, and besides that one goal from Thatcher Hughes, Gallant's been able to get 12 saves on 13 shots here, so with 3:50 remaining, Knights will try to extend their lead into the second period, but the Wild are trying to stay defensively good here despite all the chances from the Knights.
Spinning a fire, that was Hughes again looking for his second. Good save by Gallant. Mossy has it now at the point. He'll look to move one cross ice to Jonah McDonald. He'll step in and try to control it from the Wild defenseman McEachern, who's pressuring him well. Good keep by Justin Smith right on the line. Wild don't like it. Big shot by Mossy, doesn't get through. Cregan Tompkins blocked that out in front. Oh, what a save by Gallant. Sharkey didn't get everything on it, and Gallant got the glove just in time as that puck will go into the Wild bench again. A great save by George Gallant, Regan, for his 14th of the afternoon.
I mean, that was quite the angle there to get that shot there. Good block on the Nathan Mossy shot right there. And a good pass there from a weird angle. The net was a little bit open, but a great glove save from George Gallant right there. I was saying right there again, coming out with all the saves despite kind of having some bad luck on the Thatcher Hughes goal.
Here comes Connor Pierce, or Jordan Shaw rather. He'll go around Pierce, backhander. Good save by Hudson Bradley. He'll watch that one into the corner. Got that puck out of harm's way. Now Drew McDonald to Thatcher Hughes. He'll go across ice. Jonah McDonald with it now. Tries to dish one over to Sharkey, but Sharkey was too fast for number 19, and he'll cross the blue line too early. And we'll have a face-off. 2:49 now left to go in the first frame. Shots 15-5 in favor of the Knights. Regan, it's something about this building. The Knights always play better with a home crowd, and we're seeing that right now.
Well, that's for sure. Everywhere you look right now, it's all just people and seats, you know, and you would think even with an Islanders game going on right now, this is spectacular that we were seeing. At the same time, though, it's the annual New Year's Eve game. You're going to get a big crowd, especially between these two teams. We saw that whenever the game that went to the shootout happened back in the other side of in between here in Rink B.
That was a great game. Plenty on hand for that. A smaller arena, so that one looked like it was going to explode with the amount of people in it. A long shot, but George Gallant will make the stand-up save and glove that one down. That's something that a lot of goalies aren't doing now. Regan is the stand-up save, and it takes a lot more skill than you'd think. You got to be out, and you got to have a fast enough reflex to say, oh crap, I got to go down on this one, or no, it's going up high. I'm going to stay up and block more of the top side of the net, and he's one of the few goalies that you see in this league still making the stand-up saves.
Especially at a height of 5'10" as well, too. That's quite impressive, especially if you're not over like 6 feet or whatever, which is pretty much the average of goaltenders. And a good chance here.
Long pass, Clark Allen. He'll come in on Hudson Bradley. Allen shot, scores! He beats Bradley, low blocker side. And the Wild tie it up. It's 1-1 with 2 to go in period 1.
You're mentioning about goalies being stand-up there. Now this time around we get the butterfly, and yet we still get a goal. And a great pass up there. It wasn't directly to a player, but it came right off the boards, and it still managed to get right into land. And he slides it right under. Pitch perfect. And with 2 minutes to go in the first period, the Wild have some life here.
Well, Clark Allen will kickstart his team. That'll be good for Allen's 5th of the year and his 9th point, as the Wild are Going to try to go for another one. So just the sixth shot of the game on Hudson Bradley. It's a breakaway and it beats him down to the low blocker side, and we're all square here. Brennan Murphy with it. Does a good job to get around his man. Lays it off. Shot. George Gallant was down. The shot went wide, and now the Wild will try to move it out. McPherson will stop it, though. Down low. Here come the Knights again on a wrap play. That one looking for Murphy. Couldn't get him. Instead, it's Cregan Tompkins. Tompkins has it across the blue line. Ethan Dixon now tries to sidestep his man. Brennan Murphy will move it up. Owen McPherson playing with Brennan Murphy and Mason Power in substitution of Evan Nicholson and Ross Campbell. It'll be interesting to see how that line looks without Ross now for the rest of the year. You'd have to imagine it'll be Murphy, McPherson, and Nicholson. Thatcher Hughes tries to get that one. Eddie Doyle steps in. We're down to 50 seconds remaining here as Hudson Bradley will touch up with that one, and he'll lay one off to Finn Morris. Dawson Sharkey tries to tip it down. George Gallant will stop it, and they'll have to cover up with 42 seconds left to go, Regan, in a back-and-forth game.
Oh, yes. Again, it's been a roller coaster of a period. Knights starting off almost all over them in the Kensington zone, then the Wild slowly getting back into it, especially physically with a lot of open ice hits. And then Thatcher Hughes getting lucky with a goal there off a couple weird bounces, and now the Wild have some life here as Karkalang gets a breakaway goal. Pass wasn't directly to him, but again, it was perfectly off the board. So, again, it's kind of like we were mentioning with Finn Morris. Once again, just a quote-unquote all-over-the-place game.
George Gallant will stop that one behind the cage. Ethan Dixon will get it at the half wall in front of his own bench. He'll look cross ice on a beauty of a feed to Tompkins. Long shot, low save by Bradley. 15 seconds to go now as the Wild will keep it in with Jack McKinnon. Andy Thompson goes off the glass. McKinnon will not stop that one in time, and with 8 seconds left, he'll have to dish it cross ice with the attack of Dawson Sharkey coming. Here's Tompkins now. One last shot. Good save by Bradley. Dixon on the rebound. Doesn't get there. And that will do it for the first frame of this hockey game. It's going to be 1-1 heading into the second period, Regan, on a mainly Knights driving force period, but the Wild are able to tie it up late.
I mean, that's pretty much what we've seen through every single Knights and Wild game. Knights on paper usually all over them, but the Wild are proving that they can get the job done against them every now and then. So, again, just try and be a little bit more physical, try to be able to create some more plays, because, again, the Wild are kind of that every now and then team where they'll get that one good chance, and it'll usually end up going in their favor, like we saw in the game where the shootout loss happened. They were able to get the job done with the late tic-tac-toe play that led to Cregan Tompkins scoring. So just a couple more things for the Wild to improve upon, and we should definitely see a way more intense game as the second period will roll around here very shortly.
Well, it's 1-1 after one. What will it be after two? We aren't sure. We'll find out after this. Knights fans, welcome back. Period 2 action. We're off and running, and here we go. Jonah McDonald loses the draw to Ethan Dixon. Will Murphy will touch back, and he'll try to move it up ice, but we get a quick stoppage of play as that hits the new Jumbotron, the big screen here at the Bell Alliance Center, and out of play, so we'll get a face-off early on. 19:53 left to go, only 7 seconds in. We get a stoppage of play. Score is 1-1 if you're just joining us. Shots are 15-9 in favor of the hometown Charlottetown Bull Carriers Knights. Lots of former Knights been hanging around the team over the Christmas break, getting some practices in, watching the games. Jude Campbell, Colby Huggin, Jack Howard, a lot of former and past and present Knights hanging around the team. Always great to see alumni coming back and growing the program here in Charlottetown.
Hey, we got the World Juniors goal song going here for Canada, huh?
Yeah, heave away. I'm sure a couple teams are going to ban that in their home countries now. Germany and Austria among the few. Canada putting the hurt to them after an upset loss earlier in the tournament, as though I'm sure that you are all aware of. Finn Morris will lay one across to Andy Thompson. He'll find Thatcher Hughes, and Hughes will move it to Ethan Dixon. Not on purpose, though, however, and now Andy Thompson will have to loop back. Thompson finds nobody. He's going to loop back. I thought he had it to Finn Morris. Eventually he finds him, and now Dawson Sharkey will touch up, but that one will go down for icing. And a slow start to the period here, Regan. After the first one, it was guns a-blazing, a little bit more of a conservative get-go for both teams.
Well, that's for sure. We did see some good hits and stuff, though. I mean, yeah, again, a roller coaster of a period, but now kind of getting a little bit slower. I mean, at the same time, though, energy kind of dissipating. It's as if both teams were just kind of wasting everything they already had in the first period. But then again, though, it's still pretty early. Just got to be a little bit patient here because things could seriously, at any point, the leash could be let loose once again. Especially with these two teams.
Exactly. Definitely not out of the question. Jonah McDonald will cross the line with it now. Thatcher Hughes is driving to the net. That one off the stick of Gallant and into the corner. Jonah McDonald will move it in front. Can't do so, though, as Dawson Sharkey is tied up, and Jonah will have to go for it again. He gets taken down, does a good job to get back up quickly, though, and Drew McDonald will throw one into the corner, and then he'll take down his man, Carson McDougall. Mossy at the point, he'll go for a shot. That was Pierce, and Drew McDonald will have to carry it out of the Knights' end. Pierce will go back with it in his own end. He'll look to go rink wide. That one's going to hop over a wild stick, but they're still going to call it icing. And another whistle, Regan. That's been the third or fourth that we've seen in the opening minute 45.
I mean, again, with how the first period went, though, maybe it is a good thing we're kind of taking things a little bit more easy here to begin the second period. But, I mean, with the amount of people here, with this big crowd that we have here at the Bell Alliance Center, I'm sure they probably are thinking they want a completely different story, and they want intensity and excitement all the way around because, again, that's what they're expecting out of the annual New Year's Eve game.
Wild are going to have to go back for it. Jack Rao will move it around to Jack McKinnon. That one gets turned over in front, and that one was just sitting in the crease momentarily. Justin Smith can't get to it in time.
No one there.
We mentioned that the Knights are pretty banged up right now, and Justin Smith is dealing with a hip injury, but he's playing through it for the team right now as they're really short-handed, so definitely a big character move by Smitty. He's a real important part of this team, and he still has a year left of eligibility. Here comes a shot and a good save there by George Gallant. That shot coming from Mason Power is able to get a whistle and a line change for his Knights teammates.
I mean, yeah, Justin Smith, defensive defenseman, 7th round, draft pick of the Randa Huskies. I mean, it's no wonder that he was drafted. He's an excellent defensive defenseman there. He plays physical. Even though he's only 5'11", he can still manage to put on some pretty good hits. He's great on the special teams, especially on the penalty kill, so good stuff from him. And I mean, yeah, battling through that adversity with the hip injury, it just doesn't really matter to him. He wants to be able to commit to the team and be able to get the job
Here comes
done.
the Wild and a score! A funny bounce in front leads to a Kensington Wild goal. And just like that, back-to-back tallies for K-Town, and they're up 2-1.
I mean, that's what the Wild seem to be. They're always that team where another team will be all over them, and then they get that one chance, and it just happens to go in. So the Wild will take a 2-1 lead here, and that's going to be from number 16, Mary. Who would that be?
It's an AP for the Wild this afternoon. Wild have 2 APs playing for them. Knights have a whole bunch, as we mentioned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Knights. As Caden McGuigan will move that one down low. Carson McKenzie now tries to throw it in front. Finn Morris is the first one to it. He'll throw a shot on target. George Gallant will get there, and he'll hold. Well, Knights trying to come back, Regan. All of a sudden, they're from up 1-0, they're down 2-1. Not what you want to see if you're a Knights fan.
I mean, we have seen this before, though. But again, at the same time, the pattern with most games is the Knights are usually the second period team. They'll always come out with 2 or 3 goals as usual, especially like 1 or 2 of them on the power play. They'll usually end up getting a good opportunity there. But now, so far, I mean, it's only about just over 3 minutes in, so there's still time for things to roll through. But yeah, not looking good here so far. They'll definitely have to get a little bit more consistent there whenever the Wild get those every now and then chances, as I've said before, because they always seem to capitalize on those chances.
So definitely a goal that Hudson Bradley would like to have back, as that one was thrown in front off of a Knights defender, and N didn't catch who it was, but the Knights are now down 2-1. Carson McKenzie's going to go for it again. Bradley will stop it behind the cage with the big stick, as Bo Ford likes to say. That one will be rimmed around, but only to Will Murphy. He'll go with a long shot. That one blocked by Ryan Dwyer. Wild regain it with Dixon. Down low to Cregan Tompkins. He'll let that one go. Will Murphy will go to it. Now Tompkins. Pressured well by multiple Knights, and Tompkins will actually shoot that one out of his own end. And down the ice. Seamus McEachran will go for a long pass. He finds Ethan Dixon. He'll hold up. Dixon, don't let him shoot. Now Colby Hudson shoots. That one goes wide after Hudson Bradley was tied up in front. Cregan Tompkins tries to go down to sell the call again. Will Murphy will try to stand up Nathan Campbell, but Nathan Campbell will stand up him. Now Murphy with it again behind his own net. That's a good feat for Nathan Campbell. Nate's only 5'11". Will Murphy 4 inches taller at 6'3". Now Knights in their own end. McDonald finds Pierce, who finds Cale Coffin. Looked like too many men. It wasn't, though. Nathan Campbell now across the ringette line tries to throw one in. Brennan Murphy had his stick tangled up. Now the Knights are going to get to go again. Cale Coffin gets taken down. No penalty on the play. Seamus McEachran will stop it behind his own cage. Coffin comes in, gives him a jolt down low. Now that one's intercepted. Smith in front, can't find Coffin. Good stick by the Wild defense. Nathan Mossy tries to pinch, doesn't work. Great job, though, by Brennan Murphy to come back and cover. The captain, two-way forward, gets back, and he'll eliminate a scoring chance for the Wild. Jack McKinnon lets that one hop over his stick again, and the Wild will have to turn and fire one in on goal as they wait for everybody to get onside once more. Smith took a weird tumble there, but he looks to be okay as Brennan Murphy enters the zone around 1-2. Backhand just went wide. My goodness, that would have been something, Regan.
Oh, yeah, he was able to dangle right through right there, but again, George Gallant coming out on top, and ever since that Hughes goal, it's just, he's been pretty much a brick wall right here. Hopefully not a jinx right there, but yeah, only 1 goal against. I mean, with the 3.13 goals against average, I mean, you would think.
Andy Thompson loads up right into the stomach of George Gallant. Sorry, Regan.
All good, all good. Gotta keep the play going there. But yeah, I mean, with the 3.13 goals against average, you would think it'd be a little bit worse right here for him. But again, at the same time, he's got a .921 save percentage. I mean, usually teams against the Wild tend to get a lot of shots on them. So again, the goals against average, not so great, but the save percentage we're pretty much seeing from Gallant right here, and it could even go up if he's able to keep any other night shots here away from past him.
Well, funny bounce there, just about caused some trouble for George, but no harm, no foul on the play. Cam Taylor tries to rim it around. That one's blocked, however, by Jonah McDonald. Now Thatcher Hughes is in there too. Andy 10, he gets it. Now Hughes down low, waiting for help from the Knights. It's going to be Dawson Sharkey. He'll rim one back door. That one just about found Finn Morris, but couldn't get there in time. Thatcher Hughes down low. Now McDonald. Out front, shot just goes wide. Sharkey had an open area, but he couldn't find it. Couldn't get any air under that puck, Regan.
It's almost like a power play right here, but no one's even short-handed. Knights are all over him. It's kind of like what we saw early in the first period.
McDonald rims one to Pierce. He'll throw one on net. Good tip, rebound. Glance down, the score! Thatcher Hughes, number 12, gets his second of the night. And we're all square.
Another one from the kid right there, his third of the season. It's been a spectacular game from him so far. I mean, we've seen mostly through this season, especially with guys like Campbell, Harper, Griffin, Nicholson, those guys, they're out right now, but Hughes is stepping up almost perfectly here, and he just got the job done there, being right in the correct spot to tie this game up for his second of the game. And again, these young players, they're more meant to be in depth roles. They're stepping up to get the job done. That's
Thatcher Hughes' third point in his last 3 games, all against the Wild.
Go figure.
And all 3 of them goals. Now Brennan Murphy sees that one roll through his stick. Here comes Mason Power. Can't get a stick to it, blowing a tire.
Oh, boy.
Is Drew McDonald. Great job, though, however, by the Knights defenseman Connor Pierce to block off that 2-on-1. Doing a great job to cover for McDonald. Was Connor Pierce. Mason Power in on it. McDonald's back up and into the play. Pierce is going to pressure in the corner. He eventually knocks that one towards McPherson, and the Knights are going to exit the zone. McPherson looks in front. That one just about went. McPherson has it again. Knights have it down low. That one's eventually cleared outside of the zone. I don't have his number. Go give it to Danny. He'll run all this. Okay. Justin Smith has it now. That one gets poked away at the blue line, and he'll have to loop back and find Nathan Mossy, who'll look to go in himself. Nathan Mossy still has it. McGuigan's with him. He'll go towards the net. McGuigan gets it short side, just went wide on Gallant. Carson McKenzie gets to it. Now McGuigan turns it over. Here come the Wild. Colby Hudson, number 18 for Kensington. Crosses the blue line, looks for an outlet. Instead, falling on him is the Knights' Andy Thompson, and Wild will have to go all the way back out.
Kind of a familiar shot there from McGuigan, kind of the short side, top corner shot. That's usually what we see from Evan Nicholson, but no, we're getting it here instead from Kagan McGuigan, who we talked about earlier, obviously, Q prospect and all that. He's been doing pretty good as of recently.
Sharkey tries to drop one. Ryan Dwyer isn't there. Instead, it's Cregan Tompkins who gets it out. Finn Morris will stop, and he'll turn. Finds Dawson Sharkey. He'll chip it up. Great play to Jonah McDonald. Here's Sharkey behind him. Sharkey gets it, walks in, tries to get a shot off. Stick lift, another shot, and he can't put it on target. Andy Thompson's the first one to it. Now McDonald down low. Knights showing some great pressure here in the O-zone as that one is momentarily stripped off of Jack Rowell, and it is. Sharkey has it now behind the cage against his former team. Tompkins will rim it up. Morris throws in a long shot. That one goes wide of Gallant. The Knights can't seem to get a shot on target, Regan. Now Sharkey has it again. He'll rim it down low. Jonah McDonald's there. McDonald looks for another outlet. He finds Thompson. He has Finn Morris cross ice, and he finds him. Morris with a shot. Tip. Oh, and a good save by Gallant. He didn't know where it was, and he was stuck on the other side of the cage.
He thought he had it covered.
Finn Morris moves it down low. Thatcher Hughes again looking for his first hat trick of his NBPEI career. Hughes with it again. Curls in, shoots, bad rebound by Gallant, but he covers it up. And we'll finally have a whistle. And all 5 Wild players will head to the bench exhausted.
A defensive clinic from the Wild right there, and maybe a little bit of some sloppy play there too, especially around the net with the Knights. They are able to get their shots on, but they're either wide or Gallant is trying to improve that save percentage I was mentioning earlier. So yeah, that'll be 20 saves on 22 shots. So again, a defensive clinic we're seeing here from the Kensington Wild, and that's definitely something that will come out in their favor if they're able to keep it up. We saw that again with the the shootout loss for the night, their shootout win, I'll say it like that. I mean, they're able to get the job done late in the game. That's why that was the result of a good defensive game from them. So, yeah.
Okay, McGuigan has it now down low, tries to bring it out front. Cale Coffin fans on a shot, and he'll send that one wide. Now around the cage, Isaac Arsenault's there. Arsenault will try to move it up ice, but the Knights are really doing a great job of keeping it in the zone. Pierce with a long shot. Rebound, Nathan Campbell can't get to it. He has it behind the net, though. Campbell getting pressured well by Eddie Doyle. Nathan Campbell still with it. He'll chip it up. Fantastic job by the Knights to do this right now. 3 APs on the ice for the Knights.
Nets off.
Nets off. No whistle, though. George Gallant doesn't want to fix it himself. He'd rather have the whistle. And he'll get it, but the face-off will come all the way back inside of the Knights' end now, or the Wild end, rather.
Or he might be a little bit tired from having to stop every single shot here. Again, it's a defensive and goaltending clinic here.
Oh, wait a second. The face-off's coming all the way back in front outside of the Knights' blue line. I have no idea how that's the call. Luke Beck doesn't like it. Neither does Ben McDonald on the Knights' bench. As George Gallant's the one who wanted the whistle, he got it. And the face-off is supposed to go back to where the whistle was blown. So a little bit of confusion here. And it might cost the Knights as the Wild have it in their end, only momentarily. Brennan Murphy finds Nathan Campbell, or Owen McPherson rather, excuse me. McPherson will cross the line. He'll try to look in front. The puck hops over his stick, and now he's pressured in the corner. Good job by Brennan Murphy to get it out to Mossy. He'll stop, shoot. That one goes wide. In front, great play by Cale Coffin. Rebound, can't go in. Another try. That one goes off the pad and out of George Gallant. Down low again. The Knights are doing a fantastic job. Mason Power with it. Tries to throw it in to Nathan Mossy, but not where he wanted it. Now the Wild are going to have a chance to come back. Justin Smith will rub out his man and throw him to the ice, and he'll pick up the puck and go as Ryder Howitt will take a shit at him, and Justin Smith will grab Howitt and throw him to the ice behind the play. And then Howitt gave Smith a jab, and now they're going at it. So it'll be interesting to see if it's just Justin Smith, or I think it has to be both of them now, Regan.
I mean, yeah, Howitt came in there to rough as well, too, so there definitely should be both of the players there. But, yeah, Smith took down one of the Wild scores there was the AP, number 16. Made it look almost easily as there was a massive size difference between the two. And then Smith just letting the nerves go. And
it looks like they're only going to take Justin Smith.
I'm actually not surprised by that, actually. Smith was the one kind of going at him with a couple punches there and stuff, kind of letting the nerves get to him there.
Well, originally it should have only been Justin Smith, but he sucked Ryder Howitt back into the play. And wow, yeah, it's only going to be Justin Smith going, so a little bit of a surprise there and a big break for the Wild as they get to keep their second leading goal scorer. And, you know, he'll put his helmet on and he'll be right back out onto the ice as the Wild look to get their power play underway as Smith gets a 4-minute for head contact. Intentional's the call. Can't argue with that. And the Wild power play is going to get a chance to work. This is the first penalty of the game, Regan, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
I mean, for a Knights versus Wild game, you would think there might be probably some early penalties, but no, this time around we didn't get a penalty until like over halfway through the game. So this will be a perfect opportunity here for the Wild to try and take another lead here, maybe even try to extend
long shot, rebound, scores!
I bet that.
Another bad bounce for Hudson Bradley as he went to slide over and he had everywhere covered down low except for the 5-hole. And Cregan Tompkins finds the spot and he'll bury it on the man advantage, and still 2 minutes left on the power play for the Wild.
It's the power forward himself, Cregan Tompkins, always the guy that tries to get himself in every Knights player's face imaginable. We saw that again whenever the Wild got the shootout victory and over in Rink B. That's what Tompkins loves to do. He's both the physical power forward, but he also does chip in offensively every now and then. That'll be 17 points in 22 games right there for him, unless he might have a point on one of the other goals. But It's literally, I was just talking about that right there, an opportunity for the Wild to take the lead again, and they might even still be able to extend it, and look what just happened.
Well, the Wild power play percentage is at 11, and here come the Knights, short-handed, curl and a drag by Sharkey. Goes high and wide, and McDonald loses that one to Hudson. Here comes Colby Hudson, still on the man advantage. Pierce tries to rim it out, can't do so, held in by Cam Taylor. Wild calling for another penalty, can't get it though. Officials aren't having any of it, and now the Knights are just content to pin it up along the boards. So Wild with an 11% power play percentage, and another penalty coming up. Don't know who it's to. Knights touch up, and it's going to be on the Knights again. Wow, I'm not sure. I didn't catch what the penalty was, but we'll have to wait and see. It was the trailing official with the call.
I mean, there were about 3 or 4 players there scrumming together along the boards. It was like everyone tried to chip in there. Only about 2 or 3 players are out of it. Kind of surprised it wasn't both ways, but yeah, the officials are not letting the Knights have it.
So after no penalties being called, we get 2 called in the last 2 minutes, and the Knights are going to find themselves on a 5-on-3 penalty kill for 1 minute and 19 seconds. A tall feat for the white and gold, especially while shorthanded. You know real well that. Oh, and a shot in front, good save. That one just went wide, but you know that Evan Nicholson would for sure be out here right now. But Brennan Murphy's the second guy that you'd want out there. There's a one-timer. That one's blocked, and down in pain is Finn Morris. He'll try to dive to get it out, isn't able to. What a block by Finn. Leads the team in blocks this season, does Finn Morris. Another one, and another block by Finn Morris. Oh my goodness, what a display by number 2 for the Knights. And he'll go to the bench in some pain. Now cross ice feed. That one gets tapped away from Ryder Howitt, goes up to the point. Knights are going to pressure. It's Owen McPherson turning a fire, and Mossy clears. Well, if that doesn't get your team going, folks, I don't know what will. Finn Morris laying it out. All on the line right now for the Knights.
I mean, it's no wonder Finn Morris is one of the more popular guys on the team, between both with his teammates and with the crowd. He'll do anything possible to keep his team in the game, and we just saw that twice right there.
Dixon has it. He'll curl and look for a shot. He can't find a lane. Mossy's going to stick to him. Good play by number 8 for the Knights. On number 8 for the Wild, and Pierce is able to just tip that one out of the way. Justin Smith's out of the box, and here comes Thatcher Hughes back into the zone for the Knights. Pierce will try to clear it. Doesn't have any luck. Hughes takes a run at Hudson right out of the bench with energy, and down the ice from Nathan Mossy. A great display from this Knights penalty kill. As we said, 2 blocks, and that's just going to give your team some life. And he's back out there now. Finn Morris is going to come in, and he'll try to shield off Will Murphy. Cam Taylor has it. Up to Dixon. Cross ice, Eddie Doyle. He'll shoot. That one's blocked by Andy Thompson and into the corner. Good job by Andy. Jordan Shaw with it. Now off the boards, and Knights kill it off. We're back to 5-on-5. McGuigan's going to try to chip it 3 free. Can't do so. Will Murphy, pick 20. Let's see what you got. He throws one into the area, and he can't do so. Hughes lands up on top of him. He's trying to get off. Eventually he does. Here comes the Knights the other way. McDonald's shot. Good save by Gallant. And oh my, what a sequence there. Is back and forth hockey, and the Knights kill off a big 5-on-3 thanks to Finn Morris and Andy Thompson with the shot blocks.
I mean, yeah, when that penalty came through, Cregan Thomas and the Wild immediately were able to get the job done with a lucky goal. But then, whenever another penalty happened there with Jonah McDonald going to the box, Finn Morris makes 2 excellent blocks, and then Andy Thompson comes out on top. So a great rebound there for the Knights after getting a little unfortunate.
Quick shot in front. That one just went wide from Murphy. He'll get the rebound, and he'll throw it up front. Connor Pierce, long shot, trying to get a tip on that was Dawson Sharkey. Now it's Drew McDonald. Jonah McDonald. Dawson Sharkey. Jonah McDonald tries to get it again. Tompkins will try to flip it out, and he does. He finds Clark Allen. He tries to fling one around Drew McDonald. He gets it back, though, and he'll rim it into the zone. McDonald takes a run at him, and he'll fall. Take a stick up high, but we'll keep playing. Clark Allen. Now Dawson Sharkey. He'll try to curl. This is a dangerous opportunity here. He'll shoot. Scores! Dawson Sharkey rips one high glove side, and he'll throw the bottle of Gallant up in the air. And it's 3-3 late in the second.
It's the good old sniper from Dawson Sharkey himself, another popular one on this team. You'll either see him scoring or in the penalty box, and he was on the scoring side that time around. Stayed patient with the puck and then just let it go, and with ease it gets right by. And after what was a massive rebound of a penalty kill after the Wild took the 3-2 lead, the Knights have tied it back up, so there's still life from them. Went from the defensive stuff to now Dawson Sharkey getting his 16th of the season. And you were saying earlier in this period, these two teams looked a little tired. Never say that again.
Here comes Brennan Murphy to McDonald, in on goal, rebound. Oh, it hit the side of the net. Now here come the Wild, cross ice feed. That one goes off the blade. Icing's going to be the call, and we're going to have a face-off all the way back at Gallant. Well, Regan, I told you, you better watch out here whenever Sharkey comes off the half wall. It's always dangerous, and he proved me right on that one as he tickles the twine for the Knights.
Well, that's for sure. He's got a lethal shot, and it's no wonder he's got more goals than assists this season. He'll be 16 goals in 20 games so far for him. And again, he's stepping up to try and be one of the top players.
Cross ice, Murphy just misses, rebound. Swinging at it was Sharkey again, looking for his second. Now Jonah McDonald. Luke Beck really loading up this first line with everything he has right now that's healthy. Brennan Murphy, Jonah McDonald, and Dawson Sharkey, and right now they're +1. Here's Sharkey. He has behind the net. Quick shot. McDonald couldn't get all of it, and now the Knights are going to try to pressure. Here they come. Murphy can't get it in to Sharkey. Rebound. It's towards Gallant. McDonald tries a wrap play, and that one gets intercepted. Jack Rowell will eventually find Jordan Shaw, and the Wild will finally enter back into the Knights' blue line.
Oh.
Here comes the Wild again. Bradley's down, and he just gets enough of it and able to push that one wide. Finn Morris now. He's had himself a game. McGuigan puts it through the skates. Cross-ice feed. McKenzie can't bury it. Morris tries to pinch. Mossy's going to have to come back for it. Pressured by Cregan Tompkins and Ethan Dixon. He threads the two of them, and he finds Ryan Dwyer. He'll cross the blue line. Dwyer, flip pass to Caden McGuigan. Back to Dwyer. Ryan Dwyer. Drew McDonald is able to hold it in. Really fitting in well today. He's been the best AP in my eyes.
You got a breath yet? That was a lot of talking.
And here's some more. Ethan Dixon in on Drew McDonald. Great job by McDonald and Mossy to push him to the outside and to regain the loose puck. Mossy with it again off the glass and out. It's McPherson. And here come the Knights back again. Owen McPherson across the blue line. He'll shoot. That one gets tipped high and wide. McKenzie's there. Down low. McPherson. Back to McKenzie. McKenzie looks and finds Mossy. Shot. Gallant's down, and the Wild get it. Ethan Dixon is going to slow things down here. My goodness, what a sequence there in the past couple minutes.
You tired yet or what?
Still got some more in me as Carson McKenzie's going to wheel up the ice now. He'll chip that one in. Cregan Tompkins intercepts. Getting it across is Thatcher Hughes. Hughes will cross the blue line, try to find McPherson. That one goes through him. Hughes is buzzing right now. McPherson gets it, pulls, fires off the pad and out by George Gallant. McPherson gets it again. Now Thompson. Down low, he's going to try to find McPherson. He'll let it go for Hughes. Back to McPherson now. Owen McPherson has Mason Power back door. That one gets rimmed around, and Andy Thompson's going to pinch, and he'll beat Dixon to it, but he got so caught up in that he let the puck go right by. Now Carson McDougall. Great job by Connor Pierce, though, who's been great defensively this game, stopping number of rushes. As Thatcher Hughes will try to get that one and go. It hops over his blade, and now Carson McDougall will go at it again. Connor Pierce is back in his own end, pressured by Ryder Howitt. Pierce is going to try to hold up. He eventually blows the tire, and he'll fall down on top of the puck. And now things are at a standstill for the time being as the Wild and Knights are tying things up in the corner. The official doesn't like it, and we'll have a face-off with 22.4 left to go in the second.
Well, that shift took forever.
Finally a whistle. I'm not so sure that the official himself just didn't want to break after skating back and forth so much there, because that was a high-paced final 3 minutes and change between the Knights and Wild, and we still got 24 left to go. 22 rather. Finn Morris finds Andy Thompson. He'll find Nathan Campbell. Gets there one way or another. Campbell turns it over, though, and the Knights are going to regroup. It starts with Bradley. Now Thompson. Now Campbell. They try again. Nathan Campbell will just try to chip it down as the clock will expire, and this is where we'll end up heading into the third. It'll be 3-3 heading into the third between the Knights and the Wild as they're going to gather around here at the end of the horn. We'll have some post-curricular activities. Hudson Bradley not having any of it, as he's quite content just to go to the bench.
And good sportsmanship there between Bradley and Gallant there. Both goaltenders, despite the goals against, have been trying to stand high for both teams whenever the defensive clinics go on either way. So we'll step away momentarily, but don't go too far. We'll be back in a couple of minutes where Regan will have a nice chat with former producer and one of the builders of the program, Jordy Carrer, here in the second intermission. We'll see you then. All good, yeah. Well, folks, we're at the end of the second period here, second intermission. Knights and Wild are now tied back up here, 3-3. It's been an absolutely wild game here so far. Yeah, no pun intended there. But alongside me here, we have a former producer and video coach, one of the builders of the Charlottetown Knights U18 organization here, Jordy Carrer, originally from here, but now works in Alberta. So first of all, Jordy, I'm going to ask you here, how you been doing? Where are you at now? And what's life been like with you nowadays?
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for having me on here. And yeah, I made my way back to Olds College in Olds, Alberta. It's about not quite an hour north of Calgary. And I'm in the sports information role there, similar to what Thomas Becker would be doing at UPEI or Dan Cudmore at Holland College. So yeah, it's been a really good first half of the season out there. I've been doing my best to keep an eye on the Knights. Obviously, the time difference doesn't always help that, but you know, it's been great to see the continued progression of the team as well.
Well, that's for sure too. And yeah, it's the annual New Year's Eve game. This is always one where you're going to get a massive crowd. I mean, we also have a Charlottetown Islanders game going on right now, so you would think with that going on, maybe it wouldn't be as much of a crowd, but no, I think I personally underestimated what the crowd would be like today. So what are your thoughts on the game so far? 3-3 score. It's just been back and forth, a roller coaster, a defensive clinic from the Wild too. So what have you been seeing here so far?
Yeah, so my take first off is that it's great to see a true island hockey rivalry back in kind of the works here. It's been a little bit, obviously the Charlottetown Abbeys haven't been around for a little while. Islanders have had their own thing going on in the queue. And the last couple of years, certainly the Knights have had the upper hand on the Wild in terms of the provincial rivalry, but you know, you see the skill development on that side with coaches Duraj and Balderston really kind of pushing things forward. it's forced Charlottetown to step up, and you're seeing a really even game here so far. Really, even though the Knights have had, a decent chunk of the offensive possession, they've kind of been playing from behind a little bit on the scoreboard, but they've made it work, and again, they're even through 40.
Well, that's for sure, too. I mean, the team is shorthanded as well, missing guys like Ross Campbell, who's up with the Islanders right now playing against Bathurst at the moment. Guys like Ryan Herp or Carson Griffin, Evan Nicholson are also out, too. But, I mean, there's still a lot of other players, too. Guys like Jonah McDonald, Dawson Sharkey, and all of them are stepping up. So, so overall, got any thoughts on how the team's doing so far this season, and what do you think what do you expect out of them as the second half will roll through as we end off the 2022 portion of the season?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, you really see the continued progression and development on the Knights side of things. You know how vigilant and dedicated Coach Beck and the rest of the staff are in terms of pushing this team forward. You saw them really get close to Atlantic. Well, they did get to Atlantic's last year, but close to TELUS Cup competition last year. I think they can take that step this year. I really do. You're seeing kind of a more complete side from them, and you've seen kind of the evolution of the Knights' kind of emphasis on skill and, complete mentality on the ice as well. And again, you mentioned guys like Jonah McDonald, Brennan Murphy. They've really been the leaders and catalysts on this side. Obviously, Ross Campbell's done his fair share of damage as well. That's why, he's with the Islanders right now. And then I think Evan Nicholson may have taken that 10th round pick to the Islanders a little bit personally as well, because you've seen the havoc that he's brought to the league this year as well. So again, I think there's no reason to believe that the Knights can't continue on this form, and we'll see if they can pick up another couple points this afternoon.
That's for sure, too. Another guys, too, on the defensive end as well. Finn Morse with a couple good blocks there, and also Justin Smith, currently with a hip injury, but he's trying to fight adversity by playing in this one, standing up for the team. So that's all we got here today, folks, with Jordan Caraher. Glad to see you here on the island. You were mentioning, obviously, only like a one-day miss or whatever on the way over here. So
yes.
Obviously, appreciate your time, and hopefully this third period will definitely be something between the Wild and the Knights, 3-3 ties. So appreciate your time, and safe travels, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you so much, Riggs, and great to see that you and Luke have really developed a bit of a chemistry here. I kind of joke that you two are my little proteges here
yes.
in this system, but I mean, it's great to see that development. And of course, I can't be here without shouting out Universum Media as well. Scott McLean and the production guys here. Obviously, Scott with a little bit of a wink there. And I guess that's another point that I should mention, the development of the Knights side as well. Again, you talk about Ross moving up to the Islanders for today. Obviously, you had Matt McLean move up to the Caps as well. Lincoln Waugh getting to the Caps straight away. And yeah, there's absolutely a development system. Looking forward to continuing to watch it, and looking forward to continuing to hear you guys call it.
Thought I had to end it right there, but you added on a lot more good points there.
Yeah.
So, again, appreciate your time, and we'll see how the rest of this game goes.
All righty, take her easy, Riggs.
You as well.
Period 3 action is underway. Thatcher Hughes gets the puck right off the draw, try to enter the Wild zone. Blocked though, and now here come the Wild. Already back and forth action here. This is exactly what we love to see though between these two Island teams fighting it out.
So there were penalties from that, yeah.
Yeah, some coincidental penalties at the end of the third. We remain 5-on-5 though. Ryder Howitt out for the Wild. Didn't catch who it was for the Knights. Not sure if you did, Regan, but nonetheless, we're remaining at 5-on-5. Hughes tries to throw one up to the point. Down rolls off the blade of his stick. Now Cregan Tompkins will try to go through. Great job by Mossy to block him out. Cregan Tompkins drew about 3 penalties, I think, for the Wild last time that the Knights were in Kensington. Cross ice feed. Hughes couldn't get it to go. Rebound. That one bounces off of Mossy's stick. He gets it again, backhander towards the goal. And Cam Taylor, or Eddie Doyle rather, will break out with it for the Wild. Now it's Cam Taylor. Knights have it in their own end. Nathan Mossy. They'll look to move it up ice. He eventually just flicks one in on goal. Wild are coming back again. In on Drew McDonald. Here they come. Jordan Shaw. Great job by McPherson. Get the stick in and to have the IQ to drop the stick, the hockey sense. And now here come the Knights. Andy Thompson drop pass into the glove of Gallant, and they'll have no trouble gloving that one down with 18-16 left to go.
Trying to find the hole up high over the glove of Gallant there, but we've seen George Gallant pretty good on the glove side in particular, other than maybe the Dawson Sharkey goal. I just remembered that, but no, Gallant's glove is one of the more positive sides of his attributes here, so good stuff from him.
Here's McGuigan towards the goal. One hand try, wouldn't go. McKenzie's in on the rebound, as is Shaw. That one backhanded into the end by Drew McDonald. Couldn't get it to go. Jack McKinnon's going to try to move up with it. He'll just elect to dump it in on goal. Bradley will lay it off to Andy Thompson, and we'll regroup. Getting tripped up is Ryan Dwyer. No penalty, and here comes Caden McGuigan. Partial break, and he breaks his stick on the play. An unlucky bounce for the Knights. Sees Caden McGuigan snap the brand new trigger 7, and he'll go to the bench, not happy for sure.
That's going to be an expensive one right there, and yeah, too, there was a wide open teammate right there to pass it right behind to where the defenseman didn't see, but no, it's almost as if the stick had to break because of that, and the puck goes flying up into the ceiling right there.
So Finn Morris and Ryder Howitt rather going to break out. Head coach Luke Beck wants to talk with the official Brandon Barrett as to why there wasn't a slashing penalty. It broke Caden's stick on the play. Now George Gallant wants a whistle. Luke Beck still wants to talk to them, but cannot do so. Here come the Wild. Now the Knights intercept. Pierce again. He'll dump it in. George Gallant will glove it down, and he'll move it himself, trying to keep play alive. That's what we like to see here. Keeping the high-pace energy that we've had all game. Nathan Campbell's going to come back for it. Connor Pierce tries to find Cale Coffin. Him and Nathan Campbell, two Taco Boys teammates. Thatcher Hughes will fire that one down, and Nathan Campbell is going to get to work on this Knights forecheck that he is so used to from last year. Now Thatcher Hughes has it. Out in front, that one couldn't find a Knight stick until Andy Thompson. Now Mossy, he's going to try to walk in and find a lane. Shoots, good save. Gallant rebound goes behind the cage. Nathan Campbell has it. He'll turn and fire, good save. Gallant pucks up in the air. Campbell gets it again, fires again, and that one will go up and into the netting as that puck was on edge, and Nathan fires it high and wide.
A little bit too much patience there from Mossy. Could have shot at any time, but chose to kind of leave it for a little bit later to get maybe a bit of a weird angle there. It's always been the Knights just very consistent with trying to get some weird angle shots on the net to see if they can get the bounce off of Gallant. I mean, those other goals, to be fair, I believe was the first one or the first two there that were a bit fluky, so maybe trying to get lucky off of that. And yeah, too, Jack McKinnon noticed he made his return as recently. It was
give and go, Sharky cross ice. That one couldn't find the blade of Jonah McDonald, who was trying to crash the net. Now here come the Wild. Cregan Tompkins, Andy Thompson is in on him, as is Finn Morris, and a great play by number 2. Sees the Knights go the other way. Dawson Sharkey walk in, shoot just over the shoulder of George Gallant. And back to Justin Smith. Now Nathan Mossy. He'll just elect to dump that one in, and he'll let Thatcher Hughes and Jonah McDonald. After that one, McDonald slows it down. He's able to get it to Justin Smith, who tries to put one on net, but that one gets deflected and put into the hands of the Wild. Now back into the stick of Smith. He'll try to fire one up. That one gets intercepted, and now here comes Ethan Dixon in on goal. Smith will push him out of the way, and Ethan Dixon just couldn't get his stick down in time to bury that one on the backhand.
Whoa.
Now here comes Owen McPherson. Held up high and no penalty on the play, so Wild doing a fantastic job of getting away with penalties here. That should be 2 in just the third period, as we saw the slash of McGuigan and that high stick on Owen McPherson. Down low is the Knights with it. Here they are trying to cycle it. Mason Power will drop it down low. Owen McPherson. Oh, good try there, but Ryder Howitt's going to evade the zone with the puck. He'll dump it in, and he'll beat Drew McDonald to the puck. Ryder Howitt puts it up top. Shaw, good block by Connor Pierce. Another long shot. That one goes wide. Pierce is hurting on that play. That one got him right above the shin pad, and he's just limping around here, and he's going to try to get to the bench. And eventually he does, and on comes Finn Morris for the Bulk Carriers Knights. So a great block by Pierce. And here comes Mason Power on a breakaway. Backhand just went wide. He had space, but he put it wide on George Gallant. Long shot in. Tips doesn't get on target. Caden McGuigan's back. He tries to find that one, but eventually Ryder Howitt will go, and he'll grab that one from Will Murphy. That one finds Power again. He'll try to chip it up to McGuigan. Eventually turned over, and now flipped towards the Knights bench by the Wild. Maybe a try for too many men on the Knights, but the Knights were up to the challenge, and they had all other guys off that they needed. That one shot in towards the referee almost, Regan, but McGuigan has it on the half wall. He loses it. Will Murphy will dish that one off to Carson McDougall. He'll cross the blue line, and he'll put it down low. Isaac Arsenault's there. Carson McDougall to Arsenault. Wild still battling for it. McGuigan looks cross ice. Ryan Dwyer gets that one poked away by Will Murphy, and Clark Allen will loop back for the Wild. He'll dump that one in, and he'll go after it. Icing is the call, though, and that's lucky on the Knights as him and Mossy collide. Don't think that there'll be a penalty on that play, though, as it looked incidental from both parties.
Another sequence there with no whistles whatsoever, and even no penalties, as you were mentioning right there. It could have been easily 2 of them against the Wild, but no, not at all. Again, the replay right there.
Allen and Mossy grew up playing with each other, so they're able to have against each other rather, so they're able to have a laugh about that as we see the near breakaway miss. And what would have been a 4-3 Knights lead is now just a 3-3 tie.
That would have been a great moment for Mason Power there. It was a great opportunity, but again, George Gallant trying to keep the Wild in this one with, that'd be 26 saves on 29 shots. Besides the 3 goals against, he's been doing well.
Sharkey bats that one in. George will be content just to stop that one up, and he'll allow his men to go after that in the corner. Thatcher Hughes is there. He's having a night and a half. As looks like Jonah McDonald's tied up with Will Murphy. McDonald's not going to have any of that, though. Now here comes the Wild. It's McDougall, but it's Smith that stick checks him. Mossy will come in for the help. Both defensemen for the Knights in the corner. Nobody out front. We got to be careful of that. Eventually, Mossy gets the puck, and he'll look up ice. Tries to flip it up, but Cregan Tompkins will lay that one in. Hudson Bradley will stop it up. Justin Smith will then collect that, and he'll find who else but Cale Coffin who'll try to clear it in, but here comes Ethan Dixon on the Cale Coffin turnover. Backhand, Hudson Bradley's down for the save. My goodness, that's not a giveaway that you want to be making, Regan.
Yeah, lost a bit of control right there. That would have been the perfect opportunity to make it a 4-3 lead for the Wild. And now Knights might get a 3-on-1. Nope.
Cregan Tompkins gets a stick to it up into the netting and out of play though, so the face-off will go inside of the zone. Okay, so it must have went off a Knights player if it's going to go inside the zone. As you can see, the breakaway by Dixon. Toe dragged his man Andy Thompson. Cale Coffin was hard on the back check. Did a good job to make up for his mistake and put the pressure on Dixon.
That's Dixon.
So 2 missed breakaways, Regan, and we're still tied.
Yes, and that was a signature move from Dixon right there, but he's done it a couple times so far. Every time it's always been losing the puck in some form. This time around he was able to get around, but no, unfortunately, lost handling of it.
Now Cam Taylor, puck comes all the way back into the Wild zone. He fans on it.
Again.
And he'll allow Mason Power to steal. 2 fans by Taylor. He eventually cleans up his own mistake, but the Knights still have it, and Brennan Murphy is behind the cage. Owen McPherson. He'll look cross ice. Oh, how did that one not go in? That one went straight up in the air off the blade of Murphy. Finn Morris walks, shoots, good low save by Gallant, rebound to Smith. He'll turn and fire, puck just bouncing around in front of the cage, and that's where Cregan Tompkins will try to feed Dixon. Jeepers, that was close to another Ethan Dixon breakaway, Regan. You don't want to give that guy any chances, and you just gave him 2 in the last 1 minute and 30 seconds.
No, not at all. I mean, Dixon's the leading scorer on the Wild here so far. Says 20. Before this game, it was 25 points in 21 games with 9 goals and 16 assists. So he's been having a good season so far, despite the Wild being towards the bottom of the league. And he's making his case for possibly being in contention to play in the Q next season as well.
And he's only an 06 forward too, so at most the Knights could be seeing him next year too. The Bathurst T10 prospect. Harry Clements played with the Knights last season, as did Jack Howitt. They were both up there. Howitt's now with Amherst and Junior A, and Harry's still up with the big club. Cam McLean's up there as well as a shot comes in. Good save by Bradley, and he'll cover up as we approach the halfway mark in the 3rd period. Regan, we could be going to extra time again.
I don't know if you'd want to say that with how this is going. I mean, you said early in the 2nd period, teams didn't really look energetic, and then it was, and then the leash was let loose, like I was saying there. So, probably should just be careful what we say here, because literally anything could happen. It's these 2 teams of all. We saw that with how the game that went to the shootout went. So
I'm just trying a little bit of reverse karma, because the Knights the Knights, if there's one area that they can improve, it's in overtime, as that one goes for icing, and it's any time is crucial now, as Evan Nicholson is out of the lineup, Carson Griffin's out of the lineup, Ryan Harper's out of the lineup, and Ross Campbell is with the Charlottetown Islanders. So there's your first line in overtime, not even on the team right now. So
I find it 50-50 personally with Ross Campbell. Like, it's very understandable that he's going to be up with the Islanders now, because they definitely need a little bit more fierceness in their lineup. Campbell brings that with his depth role. You know, down here at the Knights has been more the first line player, known to score, be good on the power play, and be fierce. But with the Islanders, it's a bit of a downgrade. But at the same time, though, it's very good for him and it's very good for his development. But at the same time, though, it feels like it's a bit of a mess up of the Knights chemistry that we've seen over the first half. Whenever everyone's healthy, this group can do anything.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not going to help the Knights, but Luke Beck's not going to hold back one of his players' career just for a shot at the team to win more. He's going to try to advance the player's growth and get him geared up for maybe even the NHL draft if he keeps it up at this pace.
Oh, yeah.
Playing with the second line last night was Ross Campbell.
And today, too, I believe.
And today he was playing with Gallant last night. He was the center on that line. And Simon Hughes on the other wing, wearing 55. Good number choice.
Yeah, and that depth role that he provides, he's both fierce, he's physical. I mean, only for his size 2 at that level, he's still tries to do the best he can. He gets in players' faces and everything. He may not be the scoring type of guy. He actually did come close last night to a goal, lost control of the puck, but again, though, he's trying to improve our game. Thatcher Hughes here. Oh, they lost it again.
Wearing number 10 for the Islanders right now is Ross Campbell. Be interesting to see if he wears the number 11 once, well, as we suspect, Jacob Barbanich departs from the island. As I'm sure Jim Holton's going to try to get all the draft picks he can for the upcoming years to rebuild this team, as Thatcher Hughes is taken down with Seamus McEachran. Connor Pierce is back for the puck. He'll take down his man right in front of the official. No call. McDougall wanted a penalty. He's not going to get it. Wrap play out in front. No one there for the Knights. Big block by Finn Morris. Mark that down for block number 4 of the night for Finn. So he's been throwing the body around. And he has the puck now. He turns it over though. Shot. Good save. Bradley rebounds there. Doesn't go. Another try. Doesn't go. McEachran has it. Sharkey's there on the back check. Taken back down behind the play is Thatcher Hughes, and the Knights are going to get a power play here with 8:11 left to go in the third.
That was quite the sequence of events right there. Players falling over the place, giveaways everywhere, blocks all over the place, and yelling and screaming from everyone. It's a classic Knights and Wild game, so makes sense.
So it's going to be Jack Dwyer in his first shift of the third period with 8:11 left to go. He's going to sit for 4 minutes, and that's not what you want.
And go figure, the other Dwyer is right now on the ice. So imagine if he scores, huh?
So one Dwyer gets a 4-minute penalty. The other one's playing the point on the power play. We'll see what works out. Here's Ryan. Dishes it off to Thompson. He'll throw one on looking for a tip shot. Puck just goes wide, and that's going to zip out of the zone, and Andy's going to have to regroup for the Knights, where he finds Caden McGuigan. Caden had a great game against the Wild last time they played. 2 goals, 1 assist for number 6 on the Knights. McKenzie has it down low. In Ross Campbell's spot is Carson McKenzie. Now Andy Thompson dishes it to Ryan Dwyer. Dwyer down low, looking for an outlet. It's McPherson, thought about a shot, but McEachran was there in time, or Cam Taylor rather. Ryan Dwyer, again, lots of touches with the puck for Dwyer on this power play. Gets it back, shot right into the stomach of George Gallant. He's going to cover up, and that's a good 54 seconds killed by the Wild. The Knights couldn't get anything inside of that home plate area that we talk about so much, Regan.
Yeah, and they're going to get the line change here. We were saying about the loss of Ross Campbell. He's the guy that's usually right on the point to get the job done. You have Campbell on the right side trying to snipe out in the corner, and then you got Evan Nicholson on the other side who go short side, he go low far side. So it's definitely going to be a loss of chemistry right there, unfortunately. But Luke Beck will definitely try to figure things out with other guys to see if they are if they work out in possibly whatever roles they may be put in.
Brennan Murphy on the point for this one. That's an interesting play. You usually see Murph in the bumper position ripping the 1-tees, but maybe he'll get one from Ovi's office. Long shot in, good save, rebound doesn't go either. McEachran has it in the corner, pressured by 3 Knights, and he gets it out. Great job by number 3 for the Wild. The QMJHL prospect gets that one out of the zone. Jonah McDonald pulls it back from Clark Alain. And here come the Knights, and it is Jonah McDonald. Goes through them all and takes it behind the cage. Puck rolls on him. He gets taken down. No penalty on the play. He gets it, and he has a man open up top, and he finds him. Nathan Mossy. You know, he can rip it from there. That's how he scored a couple games back against the Caps. Murphy's wide open. He elects to throw it back to Mossy. Didn't like where it was. He'll move in, looking for the shot now. Lane's covered, back door! Through the crease, through it again, and it's out of the zone. Dawson Sharkey had a yawning cage looking right at him, and he swung and missed for strike 1.
I mean, we've had other games where the exact same situations happen with Sharkey. The puck will be, net will be wide open, the wraparound attempt happens, and then the puck just goes wide, so that's unfortunate here as we're about to
Mossy
get.
shoots and a high save by Gallant, and now only a minute 29 left, and the Jack Dwyer penalty is, that was for sure a missed opportunity, as we can get the replay here from the Universum Sports Media replay cam. Beauty of a cross-ice feed from Murphy, and just missing it was Sharkey. on the open cage.
It wasn't just the wraparound too, it was even the one-timer as well, so that's 2 right there.
Finn Morris on the point. We talked about how good he is on the man advantage. And he'll keep it in. Great job by Finn, really making me look good right now. Finn Morris has it at the top again. Lays it off to McDonald. Don't give him space to shoot it. Seen Jonah score multiple times off of that wing, but it's Caden McGuigan there now. McGuigan has it. He'll lay one off down. Carson McKenzie. He looked up top, but does a great job to shield off Jack McKinnon. Now long shot in. That one goes wide. Gallant's out of the crease, and he'll have to cover it up as Inman and McPherson are going to have a chat behind the play, and we'll get another face-off inside of the Wild zone. Regan, the Wild haven't been able to clear it, but they've been stopping everything through the home plate area except for that one chance for Dawson Sharkey.
Oh, remember that last game that eventually would go to a shootout. The Knights were all over them within the final 5 minutes or so of the third period. The Wild got that one rush opportunity, and they were able to get the job done with a tic-tac-toe play.
Jonah McDonald off the outside of the net. He just about had that one. Good try there from the alternate captain for the Knights. Andy Thompson's taken down, and we're going to have a whistle, and it's going to be an offside on the play. Wasn't sure what it was originally, but we're going to have a face-off outside of the Knights zone.
Again, I was saying there too, if the Wild get one rush here, eventually Knights will have to do everything they can to cover them up. Because the last time, I remember the last time I saw that, it was a completely different story, so, ugh.
Brennan Murphy on the draw, loses it, and here comes Eddie Doyle, the first-year defenseman for the Wild. 5'11", 150 pounds. Dawson Sharkey now. Bats it off the boards, gets McDonald. McDonald will turn to Murphy. There's 10 seconds left on this Jack Dwyer penalty. He's ready to come out of the box. Andy Thompson, he has it. He'll give it to McDonald. He'll try to shoot, doesn't. Puts it into the bumper, and that one's cleared out of the zone, and that was too many men, but no call on the play. As Ethan Dixon was jumping the gun a little bit, the officials didn't see it, but Ryder Howard has it now. Behind the cage, puts one in front. That one goes to Mossy. Smooth move by him under pressure, finds Mason Power. Mason Power will come in, try a cross-ice feed. Owen McPherson had a man right on him. Would have liked to see Mason Power shoot that one, Regan.
I mean, we saw it happen when he got that one kind of a breakaway there, whatever opportunity, dangling around the player and trying to get the backhand net, but George Gallant coming out on top with that one. So, again, Powers had a very good game every time, every shift that he's been getting from Luke Beck here. So, it would definitely be a great moment for him if he were to possibly get another shift here late in this one and maybe be able to seal the deal with the lead goal.
He's definitely looked good so far. Really, all APs have looked good so far. And here he is, shot. That one gets tipped over the cage, put back on net. Trying to bank that one in off of George Gallant was Finn Morris jumping into the play. Andy Thompson keeps it, and he'll throw his man to the ice. Ryder Howitt tried to take a run at him. Had no luck. Nathan Campbell down low to Finn Morris up top. That one is tipped into the glove of George Gallant, and he'll hold that one for a whistle with 2:51 left to go as new bodies come over the boards and old ones go onto the bench. Ryan Dwyer with Caden McGuigan and Carson McKenzie. An underrated line for this Bulk Carriers Knights team. One of my favorites, just a great line. They got McKenzie the workhorse, Dwyer the guy who can dish it, and McGuigan, he's the finisher. He finishes a lot of goals recently. Here is Arsenault tries to play one up. Now Andy Thompson off the boards. Tries to move it up. Hand pass is the call, and we're going to have a face-off outside of the Knights zone as the Knights were the ones who gave them the hand pass, and we'll have another face-off with 2:24 left to go in a high-paced game. Sees the shots at 35-17 in favor of the Knights. Eddie Doyle gets that one stripped away. Loose puck hops up. Shot towards the net, didn't get there. Another try, that one goes wide off of a body, and Carson McDougall will be the first one to it. Justin Smith off the boards. Caden McGuigan looks for McKenzie, can't get it, turnover. Here comes McDougall. Great play by Mossy, bats that one out of midair and into the corner out of harm's way. Eddie Doyle puts it down low, rimming it. Howitt couldn't get to it. Taylor's going to try to beat McKenzie to it. McKenzie gets there. He'll give it to Caden McGuigan. Here comes McGuigan across the blue line, in on a 1-on-3. Doesn't have much options, just tries to get it on net, and he rips it wide. Carson McDougall across the blue line. Lays it down. Andy Thompson's the first one to it, though. $1:20 left to go here in the third period. Sharkey's going to cross the blue line for the Knights. He has McDonald. He finds him. Towards the net, that one goes. It comes to a halt, though. Andy Thompson will elect to back up and play it safe with a minute left to go here in the third period. Offsides the call, and we'll have a face-off with 1:08 left to go in the final period of play.
All I'm going to say is buckle your seatbelts, because this is going to be one hell of a final minute we're going to get here.
Jonah McDonald's on the draw, and he beats Dixon that time. Dixon's been relatively good in between the dots this afternoon, as I believe a hand pass, but either way, the face-off will head back into the Wild zone with 60 seconds left to go. Luke Beck's going to load up the lines with McDonald, Sharkey, and Thatcher Hughes looking for his first hat trick. Finn Morris and Andy Thompson on the point. It's going to be a wild finish here between two PEI teams. That one into the feet of McDonald. Backdoor. Hughes tried to find Sharkey. Good heads-up play, but George Gallant was able to stop it. Good pass. Finds Dixon. Shot. That one gets deflected into the corner. McDonald has it. He'll wait for a lane, and he still doesn't have one. He gave it away to Tompkins, but he'll just dump it in with 30 seconds to go. Andy Thompson finds Thatcher Hughes. That one gets past him. Cregan Tompkins turns and fires. Cregan's just content to bring this one to overtime. Andy Thompson. That one's head height at Thatcher, and he's going to have to let that one go. Long pass finds Dixon. Now 10 seconds left to go. The Knights need to get a shot on goal if they want to have a chance of staying out of overtime. It's Sharkey. Lays one, McDonald, good save, Gallant. And with 3.5 left to go, the Knights are going to get one last O-zone draw.
And also, we'd like to let everyone know that the Charlottetown bulk carrier Knights portion of the 50-50 today is being donated to the Pam Kelly Memorial Park. Thank you everyone for your support.
So final face-off. The Knights have their play. Jonah McDonald tries to win it back to Sharkey, but nothing will happen. The period will expire. And boy, oh boy, we're going to overtime again. For the second time this season with these two teams. The Wild got the better half of the Knights last time we were here in overtime. Hudson Bradley was in net for that one too. Rylan Aiken was in the other side for the Wild. This time it's George Gallant, who's been having a pretty good game so far, Regan, making 32 saves on 36 shots.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, the goals against average is pretty much what we're seeing right here. But again, that save percentage, because it's 33 saves on 36 shots. Gallant's been standing up tall despite those 3 goals against. And yeah, again, the last time we saw these two teams fight past regulation, the Knights are all over them, and there were about like 2 plays there, especially Nicholson and Campbell got a perfect like 2-on-0 or 2-on-1, whatever it was. And Nicholson had a wide open net, forehand to the backhand. It missed completely wide. So many chances for the Knights. The Wild maybe got 1 chance, and it didn't work out. So could we see the same thing, or will the Wild try to pressure just a little bit here?
As we mentioned, Wild heading into this game, 7-10, 2-1. The Knights, they sit atop the NBPEI, MU18 HL, 17-4, 1-1 are the Knights. in 23 games played, Wild only with 21. Well, it's been a close battle so far. Knights goals, 2 coming from Thatcher Hughes. That'll do him good for his second and third of the year. And Dawson Sharkey will rip home a beauty coming off the half wall for his 16th. And that's where we sit. The Wild goals coming from Cregan Tompkins, the 6'3" power forward. Clark Allen, the 05 Summerside native, will notch his 5th, as well as the AP for the Wild this afternoon, number 16 for the Prince County Warriors. He'll step up this afternoon. Doesn't go well with the red and green though, Regan.
Oh, that's for sure. And bit of an update from the Charlottetown Islanders game. They're down 2-1 to Bathurst at the moment. The 1 goal from the Islanders from Karen Gallant, and Knights alumni Isaac Voss with the assist on that one. So good stuff from him there. They'll look to rebound in the third period, down by 1. And that's a better score than what they had to deal with against Moncton, 6-2. And that's why they got the goaltending tandem that they got, so that the scores could stay just a little bit lower in comparison to what they had in a bit of the fiasco with Jack Flanagan and Nico Boudreau. So,
well, great to see Isaac Voss getting a point. I know Voss, he was logging a lot of minutes early on this season, playing power play, penalty kill, and first line while Jeremy Biakabatuka was at Red Wings camp. And then all of a sudden, Voss, he got injured, and he hasn't been able to quite get those minutes back, gradually working towards it. So as the teams get set to go here, T-minus 15 seconds until overtime begins. Luke Beck will send out the usual suspects: Andy Thompson, Jonah McDonald, Dawson Sharkey. The Wild, same with them, the usual guys: Ryder Howlett, accompanied by Jordan Shaw and Eddie Doyle. So maybe not the usual suspects. Ethan Dixon on the bench, Will Murphy on the bench. But the 3 that are on the ice for the Wild are for sure ready to go. And here we go, dropping the puck in overtime. Doyle gets it over to Shaw. Shaw will look rink wide back to Doyle, all about possession in the extra frame. And Ryder Howett's gonna try to make it count. He comes in, curl drag, shot, big save, Bradley, turn and go. Sharkey has McDonald with him. Dawson Sharkey putting the Jets on, lays it in. That one doesn't get McDonald in time. And we'll have to loop back. The Knights gonna slow things down, switch to their game plan now. Andy Thompson pressured well by Ryder Howitt though, as Andy really needs some help here. He's down on all 4s.
the forward on the defender.
Sharkey's gonna take a run at his man, and he'll have to loop back and make sure he doesn't get caught up ice. Sharkey's gonna go for a change, and on comes, and here comes Shaw. Good save by Bradley in tight. The Knights really letting in the Wild here, not the shutdown defense that you would have liked to see, Regan, early on, but the Wild are gonna keep going. Jordan Shaw still with it. He's been on for 1 minute and 10 seconds, and the Wild are gonna loop back. Shaw's gonna go for a change. Dixon's on. And on comes Cregan Tompkins, I believe.
This is what the Wild were lacking in the game where they were able to get it done in the shootout. They weren't applying enough pressure. It was actually the Knights doing that, so the Wild, it's practically the opposite of that game, and there's the offside.
A late call on that one as Ethan Dixon's offside. He doesn't like that, but he doesn't get a say in things as the puck will be dropped outside of the Knights' end. In a close battle. Wild win the draw. McEachran has it. Finds Tompkins. He's in on Morris. Finn Morris is going to block him from advancing any further, and he'll let the puck slide through to Brennan Murphy, who takes a stick up high. No penalty on the call, though. Stick right to the neck of Brennan Murphy. Seamus McEachran will come in and drop it to Dixon. Murphy's on him, captain against captain. They'll switch, and Finn Morris will take over. Now Murphy back on Dixon. He'll poke it free, and here he comes. 2-on-1. Finn Morris with Murphy. Shot, rebound, just over the stick of Morris. And he'll loop one all the way back into his own end with 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Bradley will stop it. McPherson will curl, and on comes Mossy and McGuigan. Here's Owen McPherson. He crosses the line. He'll shoot a low shot in on Gallant, and he'll cover up with 2:33 left to go in an interesting overtime period so far, Regan.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah, the Wild applying most pressure throughout the first half of this overtime period, but now the Knights are getting a couple opportunities here. They hit the 2-on-1, but it did not work out. Again, George Gallant just again coming out on top. So Knights will still try here.
The smooth skating defenseman Nathan Mossy will lay one up. He finds McPherson. McGuigan's going to activate. Just about had him. That would have been a good chance for Caden if the pass would have gotten through. But the Wild gain possession over again. As the Knights injured look on eagerly from the top deck here at the Bell Alliance Center, Ryder Howitt will enter the zone. Nathan Mossy gets it. He's told to wheel by Luke Beck, but he's out of gas. McPherson and Mossy have both been on for a while. He'll chip it wide, and McPherson will go for a line change. Mossy not able to get off. On comes Dawson Sharkey and Jonah McDonald for McGuigan and McPherson with $1:35 left to go. McDonald, he's going to shield in his man Hudson. Long shot. Oh, saved by the knob was Hudson Bradley of the CCM. My goodness, it was literally a matter of inches there, Regan, as Bradley got lucky with that one.
No stick there. That would have been the Wild winning that one right there.
Here
might
comes
try
the
here.
Wild. Shaw does a little toe drag, and here come the Knights. McDonald and Thompson. Jonah McDonald has Andy with him. He's going to shoot it, and he rips it wide. Jonah McDonald, you could tell he was going to shoot it the whole way. You'd like to at least see him try to hide it. Here comes Sharkey, though. In on goal, shot. That one just goes wide. Thompson gets the rebound. McDonald wants it in front. He was open. Now he's covered. And Andy Thompson's going to have to regroup. He's going to go himself down low. He'll activate. Look for the cross crease. Can't get it from McDonald. And McDonald will get the puck himself. Cross ice one-timer. He had room on the short side.
Oh,
Here
no.
comes Ryder Howitt. Jonah McDonald's back. He's going to pull up. Howitt stops, shoots. Good save, Bradley. Thompson turns. 25 seconds left to go. And he's going to carry it up himself. Thatcher Hughes is on. Brennan Murphy and Andy Thompson complete the three for the Knights. Thompson will dish it off, and he'll go off for Finn Morris.
One last chance.
Brennan Murphy, 10 seconds left to go. The captain's going to lead the rush. Drops it to Thatcher. Down low to Murphy. He gloves it down, and he'll try to loop up. 3 seconds left. He's going to have to curl and fire, but he elects to just skate it back to center. And folks, for the second time in 4 meetings this season, we're going to a shootout.
Wow.
So the final shots after all periods of play, it's going to be 39 for the Knights and 21 for the Wild. On a great back and forth game, 2 high-paced teams giving it all that they got. Wild on a second half of a back-to-back, I believe, so this is real impressive from Kensington. Hudson Bradley's going to look to regroup here. Be interesting to see how he plays this first shot. Last shootout, he had the low glove wide open, and all 3 shooters went low glove. Tompkins missed the net, but Howitt and Dixon ripped it home low glove, and the Wild won, and it's going to be Dixon again. Hudson Bradley in goal for the Knights. George Gallant in goal for the Wild. George is making a snowball there. Right up at the ringette line, or not at the ringette line, but nonetheless, here comes Dixon. In on Bradley, shot, and he rips it wide. He tried to go glove again, Regan, but Huddy had it covered that time.
It's always the toe dragger trying to go high glove side, at least the goaltender's left-handed, left gloves, so here we'll go Jonah McDonald.
Jonah McDonald, the first one to shoot for the Knights. Used to be Carson Griffin, now he's in the stands for this one. Knights on their feet. McDonald in on Gallant. Comes in. Backhand. Oh, what a save. Gallant was down. And he stopped 19 in white and gold. And we're still all square in the shootout.
The glove of Gallant has been a massive strength here today. And it comes out on top right there. So far, 0 for 1 on both ends.
Ryder Howitt crosses the red line, and he'll carry the frozen biscuit over the ringette line. In on goal, Hudson Bradley down. Oh, it just missed. Huddy got lucky there as it just escaped from the post. And still we're all tied up. And now on for the Knights. Thatcher Hughes going for the hat trick. Number 12, the crowd loves it. This is your moment, Thatcher. It's all you.
This is the confidence boost.
Number 12, Thatcher Hughes in on goal. On Gallant, walks in. Backhand save by Gallant. Tried to squeak it 5-hole. George read it the whole way, and Thatcher will head back to the bench.
Lost control of that one, and now
Cregan Tompkins here for.
He scored last time.
He did, but as did Ryder Howitt. Now here is Cregan across the red line. Huddy needs a big save here to keep his team in it. Tompkins in on goal on Hudson Bradley. Shot, ripped it wide. My goodness, 3 shots on goal. Or 3 shootout attempts for the Wild, and all 3 of them went wide.
This is it.
Now this is what moments are made of. 21 for the Knights, Dawson Sharkey against his former team, the Kensington Wild. And here he comes, 21 for the Knights. Walks in, shoots, good save by Gallant. We're gonna keep going. Goaltenders duel in the shootout. Jordan Shaw is gonna be next up for the Wild, Regan.
Yep, 11 points in 21 games prior to today, so trying to get someone on the board.
Here he comes. The right-handed shot in on Bradley. He'll go to the forehand, scores! Jordan Shaw puts the Wild up, and now it all relies on the captain, Brennan Murphy. He said in the intermission, he said he's due for a goal. Murph, there's no better time than the present.
And last time he missed.
Here he comes. Murphy in on Gallant to tie it up. Backhand scores! Murphy with a beauty! He said he needed a goal and he got one. They aren't dead yet, boys.
His goal in the last, or his miss in the last shootout led to the Wild winning, so this time around, great resurgence.
Now it's Matt McDonald in on Hudson Bradley. Bounce back performance for Hudson here. Shot, scores! Low blocker. Matt McDonald puts it away on Hudson Bradley. And now it's all up to the 06 forward, Caden McGuigan, the Stratford PEI native. Comes in on Gallant. Walking down low. Backhand save by Gallant. And the Wild win. McGuigan misses in the shootout, and George Gallant will collect another victory against the Knights. As the Knights now only won against the Wild once this whole season. Not what you want to see if you're a Knights fan, Regan.
Oh yes, 0 for 2 now in the shootout. The Wild coming out on top both times. Knights do get a point, but I remember you saying last time, I believe the term was unacceptable. Just, I mean, again, shorthanded, but it's also at the same time not the best look, especially against a team that is way below at the bottom of the standings. But again, though, a hard-fought effort from the Wild here today. We got a great matchup for the annual New Year's Eve game, so that's what you can get right there.
Well,
that's the best you can get.
You can't do much when you're missing your arguably 2 best players in Kiefer Thompson and Evan Nicholson, but the Knights gave it all that they got, but the Wild just had more on a second half of a back-to-back. The Wild will take this, so on behalf of myself, Luke Much, my color commentator, Regan McCauley, and the team here at Universum Media, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.